Well, welcome back, my friends, all to another rousing rendition, a two for Wednesday, if you will, of Choir Boys Outdoors. Now, we're looking at the throne there. Let me get you a little squared up here. Let me tell you what I'm going to do. I want to do a Work Tough Gear Wednesday collection video, but here's the thing now. I am missing about 20 to 25 of my Work Tough gear. So what we're going to do is we're going to call it a Work Tough Gear collection video of what we got at the house. Now, hope everybody can see me. Happy Wednesday. I know this is coming out late. The only thing I can do is jump into it. Now, let me say this up front. I'm going to go through these as quick as I can. This is the Hondo. It was designed by Jeremy Bowler Valentine. Now, it is in SK85 steel, G10 handle scales. I absolutely adore it. Orange liners. Listen. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go through. I got everything sitting right here. This is the Hondo. SteinzVsKnives has 4 or 5, I think. Billy from Apex Alchemy has 4 or 5 of my Work Tough gear. SteinzVsKnives, Billy from Apex Alchemy. And I want to thank both of those guys for Steins is going to start putting out content. Billy from Apex Alchemy, Billy and Miss Courtney, they've been testing the Rockwell on them. He's got a bunch of good videos up. Check that out. And Billy, thank you for taking the time to do that. Then Peterbilt Knife Guy has a couple. Emler from Crazy Sharp has a couple. Somebody else has a couple. And then I've got knives. There's Work Tough gear over at Jimbo's. There's Work Tough gear at Kirk's. I'm leaving somebody out. Let's do it. SteinzVsKnives, Apex Alchemy, Peterbilt Knife Guy, Michael Emler from Crazy Sharp, and I think that's it. There might be one more. I got about 20 to 25 Work Tough gear knives that aren't in the house. That's the whole kit and caboodle. Now, I'm sending Peterbilt Knife Guy and Aries, and then after that, we're going to wait on some of these to start coming back in, and we'll send them out to other reviewers. That's just what I'm going to do. When you've been blessed like I have by Work Tough gear, man, it's wrong not to share. Now, let me say something up front and let me make this clear. I don't sell knives and I hate trading knives. I despise it, okay? If I have traded with you, it's because I want to. I want to make that clear, but please don't ask me because I despise it. The knives that I have, I like. I don't sell knives. I don't make money off knives. I'm doing right now what I want to do in this channel's life. There may come a time where I need to sell some. I'm not against it. I'm not above it. But right now, what I want to do with all my Work Tough gear stuff is make a bunch of videos and help content creators out. I just do. Ken, Backyard Knife Dude, Donnie B. All Day, and the dude over at Jimmy Slash were the first 3 guys to give me shout outs. They helped me a bunch. I want to pay it forward, and I want to pay it forward by helping with knives. I got a bunch of Work Tough gear. I want to put it in people's hands who want to test them. This is the Dringer. Haven't said all that. This is the Dringer. I love this, man. John Nelson Griffith is the designer. He has an MMA background. This thing is well balanced. It's SK85 G10, or is that micarta? That's micarta handle scales. It's built like the old school sacks. Now, people associate these a lot with Vikings. The first sacks that they found were found in, I think, 5th or 4th century Frankish graves. And you'll hear the thing, oh, it's a broken sword. Maybe. Maybe that's where the design came from. It could be. Hell, I don't know. And neither do you. But that's the Dringer. Love that one. John Nelson Griffith. Now, if you are a designer watching this and you're like, Scab, I know you got one of my knives. It's at one of the 5 other places if you don't see it. I'm helping perpetuate the brand and your knife design. The Predator Hunter Bowie. This thing is razor sharp. I love it. Designed by Dave Pouzon. A lot of guys will take and just Dremel that off, and if you don't like it, that's what you can do. I kind of like having it there for a bump thing. I did a video today called, or a short today, EDC short sword. This thing, dude, this thing is wicked. That hole is not a problem. Guys, when you heat treat stuff, you know what this is when somebody says, it's a weak spot? No, it's not. No, and don't bring up Joe X, because I love Joe X. Got his shirt on. Y'all check it out. I want to thank Reese from Well Regulated with this. Dope ass shirt. But what I'm saying is, Joe's job is to break the knife. Mine is to use it. Big difference, right? So every knife's going to break in Joe's hands. It's going to happen. If a knife is heat treated well, and this is, and guys, I've beat the shit out of this. Here's the thing. There's a lot of people that talk to talk. I have a ton of videos. I think I got 400 or 500 work Tuff Gear videos, and I'll do another hard use one on this one. I'm not scared to do it. They hold up. They're just well made. We got to keep moving. I want to keep this one under 30 minutes. So there's that. Then the new Bowie knife, the Hellion, designed by Zeke Minacho, Apocalypse Finish. I don't know if you can see it. The Apocalypse Finish, again, another razor sharp blade. This thing, my Micarta handle scales, the handle, I like the handle. It's big, it's a hair blocky, but it works with my hand very well. The thing that I like about the Hellion the most, outside of Zeke designing it, and he's one of my favorites, is it's kind of machete-esque. And here in Florida, in the swamps of Florida, this thing, dude, it's a beast. Now, this one comes in, let me see, Bowler K329. Vic Lynn and Work Tuff Gear do some of the best jobs on heat treat. They just do. I love it. So the Hellion. Moving on. We got a bunch to move through. And remember, 20 or 25 of these are gone. So we'll grab two at a time. This is the Mount Laguna. It is an old school Work Tuff Gear classic designed by Wingman 115. It is in Bowler K110, which is a variant of D2, I believe. Somebody can correct me on that. They all love to do it. I love this knife. I've given 2 or 3 away. Listen, people always want to find Work Tuff Gear, and I get it. Understand this. They do things in drops. However, DLT Trading and Knife Center are now carrying Work Tuff Gear, so make sure you check it out. This is the Bear Claw. It was designed by Alex from Aurora Borealis Knives. And again, guys, I use these things, okay? I don't have time to sit around and polish and play. If I did, I wouldn't work. I work, I do the channel, I love it, I make videos, I chop. Guys, I don't have time to just sit around in my underwear and sing Kumbaya and clean up knives. They're hard-use knives. I use them hard. And the other side is this. There's a lot of vegetation here in Florida that just stain up the damn knife, all right? For every knife I can polish and, ooh, oh my God, it looks pretty, I can make a video and get 10 to 15 more subscribers. I'd rather do that. This one is special. I've actually gifted this one to Donnie B all day. I've got to send it to him. This is the Red Wolf, designed by Vic Lynn. And Vic, listen, let me say this. As much as I love the designers that Work Tuff Gear, and I do, God knows I do, they've been good to me. They've helped me out a bunch. Vic Lynn could do, Mr. Vic, I hope you watch this, because here's my thing, man. There's enough folks out there to stand behind you. I know you like helping designers, and it's one of the reasons I love you. I'm serious, but I wished you would have a separate part where you just had your division, like a division of Vic Lynn knives. They're clean, they're crisp, and they work. Donnie loves this knife. Donnie doesn't love any knives, or very, very few. But he's a knife designer. He's particular. This one he loves, so I'm gifting it to him. I love that. Man, that's clean. God, that's clean. Let's move on. Vic does a phenomenal job with his Kydex. Let's move through some of the small ones. Now, this is the Forester. The Scandi Grind Forester and the Voyager, both designed by Alex from Aurora Borealis Knives. Another one of my favorites are over at Kirk's. This is the Forester. This was a flat saber grind. Tested very well. Again, SK85 steel. Now, while I was saying I don't sit around and polish them, what I will do is I wipe them all down, and it's time to do that again. And then I use a blade paste. I either use Wicked Waxed or Carnivora blade paste, or some stuff that Ken from Last Chance Knives sent me. I use some blade paste of some sort and coat the blades. Moving on. The Sylvanus. How many have we showed? 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. The Sylvanus, designed by Isaac Thiel. And every damn time I forget Isaac's name, and I remember his name, but I forget his damn company name. Man, I'm sorry about that, because I love the Sylvanus. I absolutely adore it. I have beat the ever-living dog shit out of this knife. That is a pot holder. You can make cordage with it, strip sinew, whatever. Again, it's not a weak spot. I've beat the shit out of this knife. This is a knife that I actually carry a lot. This is low-key one of my favorites. It gets a ton of carry time. All right. Now, sometimes you don't care about the knives. I've got some padding down there. I wished I had the spare time to sit around and bitch like some people did. This one is from Daniel Lake Murray, who is part of the Australian Defence Force. I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, but Daniel also, and I want to say it's Sundog Forge, but Daniel Lake Murray, this is the Hollow King. I actually really, really like this one. It's got a kukri-esque look to it, right? It's similar to that, yet you can use it. It's very knifey. It's very well balanced, great chopper. Matter of fact, I may take this one with me either tomorrow or next Wednesday and do a little chopping. But it's also very, very good for knifing, right? For doing knife things. And I enjoy that very much. All right, so we opened with the Hondo. Let's jump to the Pathfinder. That thing's just a beast. You know what? I get kitchen vibes, and I know this ain't a kitchen knife, but I get like old school, big time butcher knife. This is a knife that I really enjoy carrying. It fits my hand. It was designed again by Jeremy Boulder Valentine. Well balanced. Again, it's a chopper. Yes, they chop, but guys, they knife. And that's something that, man, I just can't drive that home enough. Now, Work Tough Gear does things in drops. June 28th, next Friday, they're going to be dropping the Aries. So June 26th, I'll be doing another hard use review on the Aries. Great knife, but they do things in drops, and they may drop 50, they may drop 300. They're growing, they're building, and listen, people get mad. Just understand there's a huge secondary market with these knives, and they're building, man, they're growing. Vic Lin, and let me say this too, Vic Lin is a Taiwanese citizen. I get people, oh, they're made in Taiwan. Yeah, it's a Taiwanese-owned company. And they make badass knives. They really do. This one is on my all-time favorite list, not only because of the designer, Zeke Minacho, but this is the Nomad Camp knife, no choil, 9-inch, G10 handle scales. It just feels amazing in hand. And this is almost a knife. It's not almost. It is a knife that you really want to hold to get the vibe, to get the feel. And I'll be honest with you, I got to do a review on it, but I don't want to because it's just clean and it's pristine and it's sharp as shit. And can I just have a real honest to God moment with you? Guys, I love testing knives. I love demoing knives. I love chopping. I love beating. But you know, at the end of the day, I do a lot. There's a lot of not damage, but I begin the chain, you know, with the harmonics of the knife and all that. And I will review this knife because they're not given to me to hang on the wall. See, that's something that gets misconstrued about knife reviewers a lot, or I know about my channel. I can't speak for anybody else. Oh, you get free knives? Yep. If that's the way you want to look at it. I'm also, it's about 11 o'clock at night and I'm still working on my channel. But the thing is, it's not like this knife stays this condition, you know. Yes, I can maintain it. Yes, all that. But these knives are given to me to push and to test and to drive towards their limits. And sometimes, man, and this is just the knife guy in me, this is just being real and this is just being honest. Sometimes I just want to enjoy it, you know. Sometimes I just want to save it for a couple weeks and cut some paper. I love that, the ASMR. I love the sound. I know how it's going to perform because you've seen what we got there. I got to keep moving. And I'm not complaining. I wouldn't trade doing this for the world. And I pray to God one day I can do it at least part-time. And some of you guys will get it. Man, sometimes there's just knives that you just want to enjoy a little bit, you know? And I do. I can't say I don't. I do. All right, let's start breaking into them because we still got a ways to go. It's probably a good thing I keep 20 out at the time. Now, this is the 12-inch camp knife. No choil, designed by Zeke Minacho, another favorite, great chopper. But again, Zeke makes knives, and people with limited understanding of big knives or limited joy when they see a big knife, or just somebody that don't appreciate or like big knives, all they see is chopper. Okay, cool, but this knife knifes too. Now, are you going to do a tri-stick with it? Well, you could probably practice and do so because it's balanced and it's all that. No. But I tell you what you can flip some steaks, you can cut some brisket, you can do all kind of shit with it. And yes, it chops, but it's also a great weapon. There's a lot to this knife. Man, I love it. And guys, I'm not trying to be pissy or anything like that. I'm trying to hurry and move through these, but my mind is kind of racing, and it's just like, I wished, and I mean this, I wished one day, or I hope and I pray one day I can actually show you the amount of appreciation and just how damn good these knives are. When I'm going hard on a knife, I'm not trying. I've had, folks go, man, I kind of cringed, and they don't mean it in a bad way. Not everybody's against us, guys. There's a lot of people for us, and I know what they're saying. And I go back and I watch the video and I'm like, yeah, maybe I went a little hard, but it's the confidence that Work Tough Gear has built, right? So I'd take that, and I'd take any of them knives right now, spin them backwards, and smash concrete blocks with them. I have that kind of faith in them. If I was pushed on it, I would take and chop a Curacao 4x4. Oh, I've done it. The thing is this, knives are going to chip, they're going to roll, they're going to do all that, okay? These edges have held up incredibly well. Microchips and all that shit, that's part of life, especially when you hit Curacao hard stuff, right? The beauty of Work Tough Gear and them doing things correctly. And again, now, let me stress this, whether you buy them or don't, I'm cool, right? I don't make any money off of it. But the beauty of it is, the beauty of them is a little bit of stropping, a little mechanical stropping, maybe with a work sharp. Dude, it's right back where it needs to be. Let's move on. This one is designed by Paul Walker. No, not Vin Diesel's buddy. This is an Australian maker and designer, Paul Walker. This is the Warhammer. And it's a great knife. It's dope. It knifes. It does a lot of things. It's got that machete vibe, doesn't it? But it really, 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 I love this knife. Paul's a great guy too. Has a lot of great custom stuff. But I like this collaboration. The Warhammer's just, the Warhammer got a lot of praise when I went to Blackie's. I was really surprised at that because they usually give me hell about big knives. Another classic, man, the proper chopper. I'm gonna have to clean this one up and send it to PBK, to Kev over at Peterbilt Knife Guy, man. This thing is a beast. It's weight forward. Zeke, for those of y'all don't know, Zeke Manacho, who designed this and designed the Nomads and that kind of thing, Zeke was actually on season 2 of Knife or Death, and he placed second. Zeke designed the proper chopper, and it is that. Indeed, I love that knife. It's a heavy hitter, man. That's one you don't throw down. Ooh, this one is one of my all-time favorites, absolute all-time favorites. It is the Teal, or I'm sorry, the Ateal. It's the Ateal. The Ateal, I believe, is a tribe. Well, Teal is a tribe, is a Taiwanese tribe of indigenous folks. And this is the Ateal. Man, that, again, Vic Lin designed. Just this one, I went on my walk with it tonight. Why? Because I can do anything in the world with it. And guys, here's the thing too. Please do me a favor when this is over, if you're new here especially. Go to Choir Boys, the way I spell it, CHOIRBOYZ, and I do it that way because if I don't, you'll just see a bunch of kids singing. Choir Boys, and then Work Tough, TUFF Gear. Just type that in. I did that today. I've got hard use videos on these. I've got shorts out the yin yang. I've got all kind of just hard use. Real quick, I'm going to show you these two together because we're plugging for time now. These are the two Aries. Now, one is going to go to Peterbilt Knife Guy to check out. One is staying here so I can get another hard use review on it. Hunter Crutchen, DB Hemlock, is the designer. I'll show you this one first. This is the new one. And this bitch right here, boys and girls, I'm going to save it because I'm going to do a short before I go to bed. If you don't think that ain't a razor blade, you're out your damn mind. That thing is wicked. Now listen, in the description, instead of trying to do a description of everything, I'm just going to list all the channels, but go to Joe X, type in Work Tough Gear Joe X, and check out his video on the Aries. He gave it hell. It's one of the few he's never broke. I don't know if he broke it on the second round, but I know it made it through the first one. That's the one with a choil. This is the one I did a video, I guess today or yesterday, chopping. This thing's a hand axe, son. There, let me show you side by side. They're just both wicked as hell. I'll clean all this up when we're gone. Brutal, brutal designs. Two of my just Punisher knives. And they look kind of like the Punisher, don't they? Wicked. Guys, let me say this too while we're kind of going through things. Man, let me tell you something. I appreciate y'all more than you will ever know. I get asked a lot, do I get tired of doing this? By folks not in the community, by people that I know at work and at church and all that. I never get tired of it. I get tired in it. I do. I love it so much, and I have a hard time like winding down, and I'll see a knife, and I'm like, I can do this, 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 and this, and it's like, I love it, and I love it because, again, Work Tough Gear makes stuff that you can beat the hell out of, but they've got so many great designs. It's just incredible. Go check out the Aries, Joe X. This one is from Alex from Aurora Borealis. Again, it's 8 up. This is my favorite. I have a couple Kodiaks. I gifted one to PB, Peterbilt Knife Guy. He wanted one, so I sent him one. This is one of my top 3 knives of all time, not just Work Tough Gear, of all time. This is the Kodiak. It's a beast. You see a ton of it. Now, here's what's going to happen with this one. This one will probably make another year, and then I'm going to clean it up, dress it up, get it ready, and I'll retire it, just like I did my Preacher. You say, Scab, why? Because after the amount of service, after the amount of chopping, after the amount of 4x4s, this thing has smashed cinder blocks, it's chopped 4x4s, it has been through the ringer, and it's one that I want to be associated with this channel. Now, again, another year, it's got a good year's life left in it, if not more, probably 10, but I want to keep it. That's one I want to keep. The Nomad Bushcrafter, just an absolute everyday EDC. I love it. Zeke Minacho. All of the Nomad stuff is Zeke's. I hope somebody's counting because I've quit. The Night Hunter. This was gifted to me by Jacob Lamb. Jacob, brother, I love you to death. I love this thing. It's Kukri-esque. Isaac Thiel. Remember Isaac with the Sylvanus? This is its big brother, the Night Hunter, and it is a beast. See that extreme forward cant? Love this thing. All right. Keith McKenzie designed this knife, and I absolutely adore it. It is the Famine. This is one of the originals in 7mm. It's an absolute monster. Just a monster harpoon blade. I like this knife a lot. A lot of it, too, is because I love Keith to death. He's a solid guy. This is just a great knife. Another knife that rides with me a ton. Now, like I said, Emler's got a couple. Billy from Apex Alchemy, SteinzVsKnives, Peterbilt Knife Guy. I know I'm leaving somebody out. If I'm leaving you out, man, I'm sorry. I'm late and tired. Here's the thing. When I send these things out, like Shane Gables had the knives that Billy had before he had them, they've been out over a year. I'm fine with that. I know what it takes to get reviews done. There's no time limit on anybody, but I don't want any more than what I got out. Now, guys, if you got them, that's no pressure at all. We're good. I'm just saying, before anybody says, why don't you? I'm good. When I get more in, I'll put more out. This is, again, designed by Alex. Now, you can tell the ones that I really love. The shit's just beat out of them, right? And some of this is just stained up. It is what it is. One day when I have no life and nothing to do, I'll sit down with some spritz, and get it done. This is the Wolverine Crate belt knife. God, it's a great knife. And you can tell I carry it a ton. Let's see, guys. Last little bag that's here, and I know there's more around the house, but we got to bring it to a close. One of my all-time favorites. I've gone through this and why. The V44X Bowie, designed by Reese over at Well Regulated. Just a great Bowie knife based on the Marine Raider Bowies of World War II. Phenomenal knife, big belly. Absolutely adore it. All right, let's see what we got in here. Okay, all right. The Tayal, the one that started it all. Kirk bought a Tayal off Amazon, said, man, you got to check this out. This was when I first started the channel, and this one Mr. Vic had sent me. I love this knife. This is a knife, again, you can see the ones that I really just beat the hell out of. Why? They hold up to it. They're great knives. The Tayal. This one, I love a trailing point. I may belt carry it tomorrow. The Nomad EDC, one of the greatest of all times. This won Knife of the Year in 2023. There's a reason why it did. It is a phenomenal knife. G10 handle scales, blue liners. Joe Love, I sent him one. I love this knife. It is absolutely phenomenal. Y'all check out JS Bladecraft, man. He's been on fire here lately. Joe's been on it. This is the PWB Puzon Wilderness Bowie EDC. I just did a hard use review on it. I absolutely adore the damn little thing. It works great. It's a hard worker. Look at that. Just absolutely perfect. I love it. I love carrying a little Bowie knife in my pocket. See, that's the problem, guys. One of the fun things is trying to pick out stuff. The other thing is what you leave out. Finally, now, again, I sent SteinzVsKnives the Panthera that Don Moore Kramer designed. I sent him the Puzon Wilderness Bowie No Choil and the Puzon Wilderness Bowie 9-inch, so he's got both of those. I sent him a Kitsune designed by Jeremy Boulder Valentine. And I sent the Utilihart, the Kephart design, and maybe, I think that's it. So he's got those, if you guys are wondering. Billy from Apex Alchemy has my JX, I believe, Omega, and the 3 or 4 more. I can't remember what all, it doesn't matter, but he's got those. He put out a review today where he did the heat treat on the Nightmare. Check that out. And then Kev, Peterbilt Knife Guy, had the Mountain Man and the Wilson. Maybe one more. I'm drawing a blank. I'm late and it's tired. It's tired and I'm late, however you say it. And then Emler over at Crazy Sharp had the JXV, which is one of my all-time favorites. And something else. I'm just drawing a blank. This is one of my all-time favorite knives. This is a channel knife. This is a vibe knife. This is just a super, super dope knife. This is the Dragoth. I absolutely adore it. Jason Dixon is the designer. Lucas Carroll sent me the handle scales. Little Evil, that's the other one Emler's got. And Lucas sent me scales for those. That's what reminded me. But this is the Dragoth. This is in my top 3. Again, this is like with the Preacher and the Kodiak. The Dragoth, designed by Jason Dixon. There's just something about it. I love it. Well, guys, that's it. That's all that I can think of. I didn't count them. I hope you enjoyed it. I love you. God knows I do. God bless you. I hope he does. Listen, we got to do this because I didn't do it in the first video today, and I could kick myself. Guys, there was a time in this country where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Now, stats are everywhere. The real numbers are between 15 and 29. That's why here on this channel, we focus on the number 0. Vets, we love you. You have a place here. That's all that means. I back the blue. I know it's not understood, and I know in this day and age it's not popular, and I'm okay with that. I'm not here to shove it down your throat. These are my causes. They don't have to do much one with the other, but they mean something to me. How do you do it, Scab? Well, I try not to break the damn law I have, and when I do, I try to accept responsibility. Finally, if you are an addict, and I am, never quit quitting. Well, guys, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. I've had a couple videos today. I love y'all. We'll be back on some knife reviews probably Friday. I may try to get one out tomorrow. Definitely be doing some shorts. Love y'all. God bless y'all. Have a great week. I'm Scab. You're not.